this section, we'll be talking about some of the assignments that are aligned within the course EDUC 494, Single Subject Specific Pedagogy. One of the first assignments has to do with their fieldwork. This is about 100 points. Students will need to complete 10 hours of fieldwork for this course. During that fieldwork, they will be teaching their CRT, or Culturally Relevant Teaching and Technology Integrated Lesson, developed during this course, and teach that during their placement. The second is the development of a lesson plan and designing a culturally responsive technology integrated lesson for 21st century contexts. The purpose of this assignment is to provide the teacher candidate an authentic way of designing an effective lesson plan with student-centeredness and diversity issues in mind, using the P21 learning frameworks, as well as the International Society for Technology and Education, or ISTE standards, in promoting technology proficiency amongst 21st century learners. The next set of assignments are the critical thinking assignments. They're worth approximately 100 points each. In these assignments will be the policies reflection, in which students will develop an overview of some of their policies and communicating with parents, in discussing student work, goals, or behavioral concerns, as well as their plan to work with resource personnel on campus in assisting students in supporting special populations. The second critical thinking assignment has to do with keeping current in the professional field of education by looking at gaps in the literature, examining the research, as well as developing a plan in remaining current in their fields. Finally, there'll be the fieldwork reflection, in which students will be asked to reflect on their experiences in the field through journaling, self-reflection, and observing one's field notes, devising solutions and addressing various student needs. They'll also be asked to complete content-specific modules, which are single subject and content area specific. They'll be completing 4 modules specific to their content area and specialty. Detailed instructions are provided in each of the folders specific to the content area, and students will have some more specific activities pertaining to each of their content areas and disciplines. There'll also be a mock lesson and feedback. In order to practice collaboration amongst peers in the development of lesson planning and obtaining feedback from colleagues in informing one's teaching practice, a mock lesson will be given in class as well as feedback from their peers. Finally, discussion participation, which is required weekly, will be sort of assigned to ensure that readings are conducted accordingly. Finally, there is the sort of final project that students will be submitting at the end of the term, and this is the third term key assessment, in which we'll be looking at data-driven strategies for equity and inclusivity. Candidates will collect formative and/or summative assessment data from the teacher that they have been working with or will be working with for student teaching, and will be collecting either unit tests, teacher-made assessments, or departmental assessments. From this information, candidates will create a class profile, that is, contextual information, in which a candidate will create a class profile with information regarding the number of students identified in various subpopulations. Candidates will then analyze the data and identify student outcomes based on the assessments of this data. They will then evaluate the data and design a reteach or extension lesson that includes a new assessment which will evaluate new outcomes. And finally, they will be identifying a target student in which a specific learning need of a diverse student is identified, in which reteaching and extension strategies are adapted in order to meet the student's needs. So that's sort of a summary of all the various assignments that are included within this course.